Let's see if I dare ask it to play Spotify while I'm doing all this.
And look, I beat Randy.
Really testing the limits of this computer and the internet together.
It's actually funny is when I joined into the server, Smitty was already there and Randy was already in the group chat. So Randy, you technically did beat me, but I was still on time.
That's right. You can do it, Spotify.
You don't need music. You've got me.
What?
Our house only has 20-year shingles on it.
Excellent.
Guess how old our house is?
Randy says, attaboy. Thanks, RP. Thanks. Well, we're live on a Monday night. It's 9 o'clock, East Coast. The time is right. There you
It's
are.
9 o'clock somewhere.
Yes.
And Marco?
Polo. Polo.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
You
You're good.
look dubious, like maybe I was struggling. So.
No, I didn't know if you were going to chime in or if your wife was talking to you. I know she's working in there with you at the moment.
I mostly just need better internet. I need our internet company to not suck and my Wi-Fi to be able to reach from one side of the house to the other without struggling.
You know, they make these extender things now. I'm not being sarcastic. They have
I know, and I keep trying, and for some reason, our security system has like a little antenna box thing plugged into the outlet. So surely that counts. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, but they have like a little wall unit thing with these little rabbit ears, and you just plug it in the wall and then use an app or whatever to set the transponder.
One outlet on a wall and then one in the ceiling, and that is it. I literally have 2 outlets available.
They make these things called power strips. I know you have a spare one in your snake room. We all do.
I actually don't. I need one.
You're not a herper if you don't have a spare power strip in your snake room.
I know. I'm struggling. Yeah. But we are here. It is Monday. It is episode 211 of Snakes and Stogies, which is brought to you by blackboxcages.com. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram. Do some shopping around. Find you a rack. Find you a cage. Get both. Use the code THN24 at checkout. Get 10% off your order and then save even more by choosing the pickup option. And hey, you're near North Georgia. You're within a reasonable drive. You want to drive from Hawaii to North Georgia? Do it.
I'm sure there's some guy out there who has an old ferry, and he's like, I can do it. I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome cages, awesome racks. You won't be disappointed. Phil and I both have both racks and cages, and they're all phenomenal.
Phenomenale.
We stand behind them 100%.
Proudly. 100%.
And then after you do that, hop on over to coldbloodedcaffeine.com. Get yourself the Snakes and Stogies blend of the drink of life.
The elixir.
That's right. Use the code SMOKE. Get a little bit off your order as well. Me and Phil get a little something as a result. And you just get a really good bag of coffee. So check that out. There should be a link down below in the description. Not only our blend, plenty of other blends to choose from, be it their house blends or their affiliate blends. There's a lot to take in there and a lot of coffees to try. We are going to be a little biased because we love ours. But check it out. And hop on over to fulviusapparel.com. Get yourself a hat. Get yourself a shirt. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 15% off your order. The exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. I just literally like an hour ago put up a new rough scale python option.
Nice.
So go take a look at that. And what else? I forget, Phil. You haven't been online like at all the last like week because you've been gramless. So
I'll tell you what though, when you go into Google on a new iPhone 15 and you type in the word Fulvius, you know what pops up? What's the first thing that pops up?
I'm kind of scared to know.
The first thing that pops up is the word Fulvius. The second thing that pops up, Fulvius apparel.
Oh, look at that.
You beat out the taxonomy. Isn't that great?
Win.
Yeah, no, I've been off the socials. I tried to repost some stuff and until I got my new phone, the only thing that worked on my old iPhone 6 that I swapped the SIM cards on was Instagram. So I could look at pictures, but it was so outdated that it wouldn't let me watch videos or reels, and like the features were like archaic. I felt like I was using an abacus. And but now I'm up and running. I'm back to speed with the 5G.
Well, they just updated it, and I was struggling to figure out where all the chats went, and then I realized that it's straight up where the plus button was to add a post. That's where messages are now. So I'm like looking around like an idiot, going like, "How do I get to my inbox? Is there a glitch? Did it disappear?" And I'm searching high and low for it, and it's right in front of my face. So go figure. So.
Oh no, that rough scale shirt is awesome. That is really cool. Why did you not throw this picture up on the show? Did you post this today or no?
I haven't posted like the picture, but I'll open it.
Dude, that and with the blue eye, man, like come on, dude. Come on.
I thought that was a nice touch, but
that shirt is killer.
Let me get it. Oh, hold on. Wrong.
That's one of the better shirts you've done, my friend. I'm into it. I like it. So yeah, if I've ignored you on the socials, don't be upset. Hit me up again. Some of the stuff didn't work. If I texted you last week and I never replied, or like we were in a text conversation, I didn't reply, please don't be upset. Those texts are kaputs. They are gone. They are no longer in the phone. So try it again. Sorry, guys. Hey, Tim Morris in the chat.
People just want to talk. People just want to talk to you, Phil. They can't get a hold of you.
I know. It was nice not being able to talk to work people. That was cool. They're like, I tried to text you like 5 times. I'm like, I didn't get them. I was out of touch.
No.
Oh, no. You never replied to my email. I didn't get an email. It says it was delivered. Well, it was.
What email?
Yeah. Never got opened.
Somewhere. All right, we're gonna really test my computer now because we got this going Spotify, and I'm about to open Photoshop, so we're pushing it to the limit.
Close Spotify. Be present.
Why? I am. It's nice to have the background noise, It's soothing.
But this shirt is one of your better shirts,
I'll turn it
man.
off just for you.
You don't have to turn it off. You do whatever you like. But
so while I'm waiting on this, I will also mention Low Country Cigar Club. Marco?
Polo. I think your audio is good, but your video is lagging out hardcore. Oh, maybe we lost the audio too. Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Okay, no, audio's good.
Yeah, I think audio is fine. It's the video. You look like you're in Minecraft.
Telling you, this thing's I'm pushing this thing to the limit.
I want to give you a sword and a block in the shape of a bush. I've actually never played that game. People tell me it's amazing. I saw some guy made Minecraft like Call of Duty with like Minecraft guns and gear and like killing other people in Minecraft. I thought that was kind of interesting. Your video's back up. Crystal clear. Hopefully people haven't changed the channel. Is that even a thing? You can't change the channel in the podcast. You just change
They
podcasts.
just turn us off. Yeah.
Man, I'm like aging myself. Like I just envisioned like someone in their car being like, what the hell are these guys talking about? And then like turning the knob to go to the like, you know, the next channel, pressing the scan button.
I was working on a Black Mamba design too. That's been one that I've been playing with off and on for the last couple months.
It's tough, man. There is a lot of Mamba designs out there, but they're all very, very similar. You know, it's got the hood and open with the gaping mouth, and
I work on it and then I hate it, and then I come back to it and work on it some more, and then I hate it, and then I come back to it and work on it a little bit more, and then I hate it.
Well, if anyone's a fan of Morelia carinata, the rough-scaled python, or you're an Aussie python fanatic, much as all of us are, go to fulviusapparel.com, type in the word rough in the search, because that's the only way that I could find it, and buy that shirt, because it is freaking cool, man.
Hold on a second. What did you do?
I didn't touch anything.
Not you.
No.
Undo. There we go.
Mr. Morris, I'm sorry. There is no guest tonight. It's just the two of us. And we have a fun show planned, totally off the cuff. And I think those are some of the best shows. So we actually have some stuff queued up. And Smitty, while you're clicking away, what are you smoking tonight?
I have a San Cristobal Habano Oscuro.
Nice. That's a cool looking band.
It is. I don't think I've had this San Cristobal before, so I've got something a little different.
Oh, it looks even better in khaki. Does the shirt come in khaki or no?
It comes in sand.
Okay, nice.
So
Excellent.
Slightly...
A light khaki.
Hold on a second. Photoshop.
A taupe, if you will. All of my KEC kids out there know about the taupe.
Does this work?
It looks great.
I'm trying to zoom in, and
it's not zooming, but it's crystal clear. It looks awesome. Do that blue eye like on the khaki background, the taupe background looks so good. For those listening on your commute to work, it is a silhouette of the continent of Australia and Tasmania, and within the continent is a coiled up rough scale python with the side of its face showing, and it's all black and white, or should I say black and khaki, black and tan, except for the eye, and the eye is baby blue, and it looks great. And there it is in gray or white.
That's it without a background. So.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I like it.
Merp.
And thanks, Timmy, man. We miss you, bro.
You guys want to
back on here?
We do. Don't save. So this is another Pituophis.
Look at all these behind the scenes photos.
I know there's a lot
for the people watching it on the YouTubes. And that's a cool one. Coast to coast. I love it.
So my main problem that I have with this is I can center the diamond with everything else, right?
But the snake's head won't.
Then it seems lopsided. But if I try to center it to where the whole thing is, then the diamond's off.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. So
well, why don't you cut off more of the snake's neck and just put like the face like from the jawline only, and that way the diamond can be center.
Maybe. I kind of like the popping out effect.
No, I like
it
too.
The fourth wall.
Yeah, right. It says Pituophis Limited, coast to coast.
Built different.
Built different.
All right.
Love it.
This is the Black Mamba one that I'm not crazy about.
It's cool. I'll be honest, man. It comes to it's very Fast and the Furious.
Oh, I just thought about that when you were about to say that. I was like,
yeah,
exactly what he's.
It's very Fast and Furious. Like, I was
gonna do like the Metallica font, but there's too many letters in that. Yeah, look good, and it just.
I think the only way that this could be a good shirt is if you physically put Vin Diesel in the background. Like, actually, it looks like Vin Diesel's right there. Look right above the F and the A. If you squint, you can see Vin Diesel with his white T-shirt.
Family.
I'm dead serious, people. You need to go on YouTube, zoom in. You can see that was unintentional, wasn't it, Smitty? You didn't mean to put Vin Diesel in there.
I don't think it actually. I don't.
He's in there.
Talking about. That was
there's a bald man with a wife.
Fine snake one I'm working on that I'm also not crazy about.
I think it looks really cool. It's just hard to read that it says Atula.
Well, there's all it's futuristic looking.
Yeah, I'm with it. Very Total
Supposed
Recall.
to be. These are some coasters and stuff that I did. That's something for work. But
yeah, man, if you guys are on the website, check it out. Type in search bar rough. And that shirt's awesome, man. That's a really cool shirt.
Thank you. What are you smoking this evening?
Tonight, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take out something nice, something I haven't smoked in a while or I've never smoked before. And I opened my first humidor and I'm like, there's nothing new. There's nothing fresh. So then I opened the second humidor, the big one, the one for reserves, where I, have my little cachet of Liga number 9s. And there's nothing new in there. And I was like, man, I got to go shopping. There's nothing there. But there was one, I know how much you love Gurkha, Gurkha Royal Challenge that I got a while ago and it yellowed out pretty nice. So we're going to go with that. This one has
spoiler alert. It's not that challenging.
Spoiler alert. It is not that challenging. I remember Royal Challenge having a very good draw. But it is way lighter than people think. So, I mean, the color should be an indication, right? But it's still, it's damn near a Connecticut. So we're going to try that out tonight.
I think I was mentioning it earlier. I don't know if I seized up or not. But Low Country Cigar Club, I will again mention that if people aren't aware of what it is, let me go ahead and why is that not?
And for those watching, like I said, a fantastic draw. Sucker lit up real quick. Technical difficulties.
Well, we had our first sort of official event for Low Country Cigar Club at one of the local breweries. We're going to be doing that once a month. Turnout was really good for that first one. I'm not upset about it at all. There is a big festival that was going on that same week, so we were kind of up against that. And then the weather's been pretty squirrely as far as rain just sort of showing up. But turnout was good. I'm happy about it. So it's a subscription service if anybody's interested. Cigars that are curated by myself and Trey, who is my partner. We're handpicking everything each month. There's a couple different options in terms of how many cigars you get in the box. So check it out. lowcountrycigarclub.com. We're doing a raffle every month for subscribers. So you get automatically put in when you subscribe. And then we're going to draw on the first, and it's going to be, I have some like patch hats and stuff that I've done and some other odds and ends. So check it out.
Very cool.
What is new down yonder?
Nothing much, man. Baby puff adders are growing like weeds, dude. It's crazy. I feel like just yesterday I was giving them pinkies. Now they're on like the plump fuzzy. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's not quite a hopper, but it's like a thick with 3 C's fuzzy, just a plump fuzzy. And dude, what's the word I'm looking for? Unintentional observations, excuse me, of these baby puff adders. And I've got 1 yearling, and then I've got 2 that are maybe honestly coming up on a year. So maybe the other one's not a yearling. Maybe the other one's like a year and a half. I don't remember. I got it all written down. But coming in the room at, say, 9 o'clock at night, flipping the lights on, and they get in position. They're like, we know what's happening. We can smell it. It's coming. And dude, it's adorably scary just watching them just come out of their little plastic hides and get in the S position and rock and roll. So I watched that a bunch this week, just sat there watching them. And the cane toads are out in force. They just showed up in my yard. I don't know if people were watching my eyes dart across the screen, but I just watched one literally hop across my path. No fucks to give. Super cute, super annoying, such is life. But dude, other than that, man, it's hot and humid in South Florida. We're rolling.
It's Florida year round.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Well, better start packing your bags, Phil. T-minus 6 days.
I know, right? Wild. It's fucking wild. I actually
West Texas.
Yeah, West Texas. I in my recent automobile accident, I lost some equipment and I'm slowly replacing it, and I received some of that today, so I have to dial in GPS and get the radio working and start packing. So
But you guys, if I recall, y'all are going you're not going to where we were necessarily. Like it's
so originally
El Paso, is that what you're talking about?
so we're flying into El Paso, and originally, and I don't want to give too much away because I'm sure we'll do some show stuff about it, but originally it was going to be different places we've never been. Maybe some Big Ben stuff, but nothing really, or some Fort Davis stuff, nothing really crazy. But that was before Valentine was coming. So Valentine's coming, we got to kind of give them the West Texas experience. So I think we're doing basically everything that you and I did, just no Alpine, I think, just because it's that far east. But I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
You gonna do Lost Mine again?
Definitely not. Hell no. Hell no, brother. Hell no.
You got to get to the top this time, Phil. Come on.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I get to go halfway. I get to look out over the beautiful horizon and watch everyone else kill themselves to the top.
That's you know what? I don't think I've ever talked about it, but that trip was the trip where I was like, I think I'm diabetic, because after that day, we got back to wherever we were staying, and the neuropathy was so bad in my feet, they were like numb.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I remember sitting there and being like, man, I got really bad like neuropathy. I didn't know how else to describe it. And Dr. Julian was like, are you diabetic? I was like, I don't think so, but probably. I don't. So turns out that I am. I got established recently. Am I gone, Marco?
No, Polo.
Okay. And my A1C was like 9.6, which is pretty damn high. So been dieting, eating better, and all that. So
good. That's the way to do it, man.
Sucks.
Keeping you alive. Gotta keep the show going.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Overall, it's been pretty hectic with everything going on in terms of like Fulvius collection, regular family life stuff, medical stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else, it's been pretty tough.
Sucks being a grown up, man.
Well, I mean, there's been a couple times where I've considered sort of either retiring from the podcast thing or taking an extended break like Jake did.
Okay.
But then I don't think I can do that. So.
Yeah. I mean, we'll work with you, bro. Your sanity is much more important, but I don't know. Can't see you doing that. But
I don't know. I think we're gonna. So I believe, and I mean, we're kind of already at that point, but cutting back THP to once a month.
Okay.
Which kind of works out anyways, because if I'm doing the cigar events once a month, at least once a month, then that can be the night that Flippin' 10 happens or something else. But either way, it's kind of just, it's gotten to the point where it's like something's gotta give,
Yeah.
and I don't know. We'll see. I think Daytona has especially had a lot of part in like the mental stress and stuff in terms of like, again, there's been multiple times where I'm like, I'm canceling the table. I'm not gonna bend. I'll just go. I'll just enjoy it. And then it's like, no, I'll do it. And it's like, no, I won't cancel.
Yeah, you do it
Just
once.
back and forth.
See if you know how it's going to be, and you do it once, because if you don't do it, then you'll regret it. Nobody wants to regret it, even if it doesn't pan out the way you thought it would, which I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So. And then collection stuff, it's just been doing my best to stay on top of that, and not spending as much time in the room as I really need to be, honestly.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that, man. That's for sure.
It's been stressful.
Yep, I know the feeling, man. We're all in it together, and you go through I don't want to say peaks and valleys, but you definitely have a dell every now and then.
Ebbs and flows.
Yeah, ebbs and flows. It's good. And don't get me wrong, there's times when I go in the snake room once a week, and there's times I go in 4 or 5 times a week. So this depends. And I know some people, that's their MO, is to go in every day, twice a day. Me, I don't really have the time to. Let me be real. I could do that. I could go in there twice a day if I really wanted to. But I do have the luxury of keeping a lot of arid species and a lot of snakes. Then they don't really need it too much. I watch the Govee and make sure everyone's cool. But yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, man. It gets to be a lot, especially when you're big collections like us.
And Tim said, it sounds like a little burnout, and it is for sure. And that's something I think that's actually been, I've been dealing with that for a couple months now. And it's frustrating because it's burnout from a lot of things I actually really love and really enjoy and like to do.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of giving all of them the right amount of attention and time. And that's where I think it comes in, is like struggling to spend equal amount of time on everything and feel like I've completed something in that. I don't like this whole, like the cigar club thing just sort of came out of nowhere. Like Trey started it and he's like, I want you to be a partner in it. You want to join it? And I said, sure. Not really knowing it. I told him up front, I was like, I've kind of been down this road with some other things in the past. And it's like, I don't know how much time I can fully commit, to what we're doing. And as it turns out, it really hasn't been anything too crazy. Trey's been doing the bulk of the sort of the grunt work on it and things like that. But yeah, even on like the podcast front though, man, I still like, there's been multiple conversations with myself where I've been asking, do we still have it? There's a lot of good shows out there now. And I know like you've been crazy busy. Jake gets busy. Jake's been busy flipping 10. Like everyone's had stuff going on. So the part shows and things like has not been, in my opinion, where it should be.
Yeah, but like you said,
amount of responsibility for that. It's just, I've wondered though, just, is it, what do we gotta do to figure it out? And
well, I think
sort of
letting it ebb and flow, I think, is a great way. And Tim said it right there. He's happy to help in there, still go there. That's a great way to phrase it. And I feel like the ebb and flow is good, because if you're just constantly ebb and no flow, then you burn out. And I feel like, you and I made an agreement a long time ago to do our damnedest to not miss, more than 1 week, right? Or maybe 2 weeks at Christmas or however we did it. And I feel like you and I have been really good about that. But sometimes you just need to take a break, and even if it's just for the week. So whether it be from your collection or from podcasts or whatever, I got to be honest. Even despite my car crash, even before that, I haven't really listened to podcasts for a few weeks, man. A lot of weeks, just because I've been on a music kick, or a audiobook kick or whatever it may be, So ebb and flow, baby. It was a great way to put it.
Yeah. You're frozen now. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
no.
Your screen's frozen. There we go.
Yeah, you're frozen a little bit too, but we're good. I think we're chugging in there. So Tim Morris has some wonderful words for us. You want to throw them up on the screen, or are you going to comment to him? Sorry.
Tim said, "You guys have been hard at it for quite some time. I've been impressed with your dedication, but have wondered if you guys feel the burn from time to time." I definitely do. I don't know about Jake or you. I can't speak for any of you guys, but I definitely can. And I mean, a lot of that is my own fault because I have a hard time saying no to things, and something I am interested in doing and do want to continually do it because I do enjoy it and I do love it. But unfortunately, I just get super amped about certain projects and don't say no to them. So and it's even something I've asked Burke. Even there's been a couple times over the years where I've messaged Burke and been like, "Dude, do you have times where you're just done, like you're over it?" And he'll say the same thing. He's like, "Absolutely." He's like, "It's the same thing. It's the ebb and flow." He's like, "It just, you go through sort of lulls of sorts." And I mean, I understand like not every single episode, every week, every month, whatever is going to be a zinger.
Yeah,
like they're not all going to be. Well, they're not all going to
maybe other shows, maybe other shows, but not this one. This one's always a zinger. Yeah.
You're not going to bat 100 every time. So I think accepting that and not beating yourself up over the fact when you get some that aren't, they're bound to happen. Statistically, they're going to happen.
Sure. Could you imagine if you and I were still doing Snakes and Stogies and THP, doing 2 shows a week, every week? It'd be rough, man. I mean, we did it.
I don't know. I didn't find it to be that difficult. I think towards the end, before Jake came back, it definitely felt like it was getting a little tougher to change things up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
The 2 shows have very different sort of structures in terms of like what we do, like, in terms of prep and like things like that. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
But it's good, man. It's good. It's good to talk about it. It's good to let people know that they're not alone and that it's okay to not listen to a podcast, except for this one. You have to listen to this one every show in its entirety. And don't be doing that 1.5 or 2.5 speed thing like Rob Stone. No. You gotta listen to it at 1.0 so you can get all the juicy details.
Yeah, it's just I'm big on transparency in terms of like this stuff and what we're doing, and it's like I don't like my problem with the internet, and a lot of it is a lot of the stuff you see is mostly a facade and bullshit.
Sure.
I don't ever want that to be us. Like,
yeah,
straight up, I've thought about being done with podcasting as of the last couple weeks. I've like really considered like just hanging it up, be it temporary, indefinitely, forever. I don't know, but that's where I'm at. But that also comes and goes. I have those days where I'm like, fuck this shit, I want to do it. And then I have days where like, no, I actually need it because it is sort of the break from everything that I have going on. You know, where I'm just hanging out.
And there's been times when I've been like, oh God, I don't know if I got a show in me. And then I text you and you're like, yeah, we're going to do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then we get in and I'm like, all right, here we are. You know what? Yeah, here we are. Right. Here we are. And I know I'm not the most smiley guy on camera. And I know that having a beard masks the grin from time to time, but it's always great, man. It's always great. So yeah. And we have an interesting show tonight. I'm eager to see how people feel about tonight's show.
Yeah, I'm curious. When you texted me the idea, I was like, okay.
It's either going to be fantastic or it's going to be total dog poo. And because it's dog poo, it's fantastic. That's it.
True that. So real quick, Tim also said, as a teacher, when I'm off for the summer and I have all this time, I get myself into several things where when the school year starts, I'm banging my head against the wall. Most of it is the burden of my job. Some of it is seasonal affective disorder. So I too go through those ebb and flows. Yeah. And the way, with the way I like work and stuff, like I actually like my job. I like being at my job. And so I kind of have these phases fairly regularly where I compare it to like how musicians talk about being on tour. Like when they're on the road, they can't wait to be home, but when they're home, they can't wait to be on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get like that with work a lot, to where it's like, especially if I'm, kind of bored and stuff, I'm like, man, I could be at work cranking out some orders right now uninterrupted. Don't have to answer emails, phones, none of that. I can just print.
Yep.
And long weekends, like 3-4 day weekends, by the time Sunday rolls around, I am so itching to get back to the office, because I just like there's such a thing as too much downtime. Like when you come back to a whole bunch of work that somewhat could have been prevented if you would just spend a couple hours in there doing things. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So.
And it's like I talked to Billy Hunt about this, talked to Casey Can about this, talked to you about this, where you get home from work, you're beat, and like this was a major thing for me when I worked in reptiles. Now I don't work in reptiles, right? So thank God. But you get home from work and you're like, man, I am just done. I don't want to go in that room. And then like Billy would send me some picture or something, and I'd be like, oh man, that's cool, but I'm procrastinating going in the room. And then Billy would say, go, just go, like with an exclamation point. And I'd be like, oh, fucking Billy. And I'd get up off the couch, walk upstairs, open the door, smell that disgusting smell that we love so much, and go, man, I know why I'm here. Yep. And then you just get back right into it, So it's good, man. It's good. It's good.
What are we talking about this evening?
Well, I had a crazy idea. Talking to Jake and Sky about herping the field and seeing animals in the wild that we keep in captivity, and how it changes our view of how we keep, and blah, blah, blah. The same thing that we talk about all the time because it's fucking awesome. And I realized that there's a lot of people that don't really know what their animal's habitat really looks like. And the idea came to fruition when I had a client at work today who has a teenage daughter who has a leopard gecko. And he asked me, he's like, hey man, the leopard gecko is healthy looking. Like its fingers are good. Its tail is fat. Its eyes are clear,
but finger licking good.
It doesn't really do anything, man. It's super lethargic. So he's like, I put it in a little thing of water to see if maybe it was dehydrated. And I was like, well, if his tail's fat, he's probably not dehydrated. If his skin's not wrinkly, he's probably not dehydrated. He says, yeah, he didn't like the water. And then when I tried to take him out, he got all angry. I was like, all right, well, it is a leopard gecko. I said, why don't you go in the room at 2 a.m, see if he's active. So we'll find that out tomorrow or the next day, because this was literally today that he told me this. And I was thinking, man, I know how he has it kept. But so many people don't realize where leopard geckos come from, like where bearded dragons come from. All these iconic, classic pet reptiles and herps that we keep, whether it be dumpy tree frogs or California king snakes, or
we forget that they're real animals in the wild.
Exactly. And like Western hognose, like, yes, you keep your Western hognose on Carefresh rabbit bedding from Petco, and it does great. It's super cute. It makes little burrows through the mulch, and it looks adorable. But where do Western hognose really hail from? What does the habitat really look like? So I text Smitty and I was like, hey, let's hop on INAT. Let's hop on the old GOO Google and show some people where some of our most basic animals
hail from. Where does the bread and butter come from? And then so he was like, do we want to prepare for this or do we want to wing it?
Yes.
And I said, let's wing it, because I'm sure we all have our own perception of what we think these species come from.
Yes, correct.
And I mean, I have an idea. Like, I've seen pictures of the habitat of hognoses, and I think we're all fairly familiar with bearded dragon habitat and stuff like that, but it may not be exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be kind of cool to sort of take a guess in terms of what we're thinking, what it might look like versus reality.
Yeah.
Because I know like leopard geckos, for example, I feel like a lot of people think like straight desert, sand, no shrubs, no rocks, like nothing. Almost like Uromastyx, I guess. Where it's just a hole in the ground in the middle of a barren patch of earth.
It's wasteland.
Yeah. So thought that would be cool. But interestingly, tied to this, in the recent Venom Exchange radio episode, you guys were talking about collared lizards.
Yeah.
And I thought that had the gears turning too, because you guys had, Nipper had mentioned the data they were looking at when they were finding them and the temperatures and how he thought maybe that was something he could keep. But then after seeing them in the wild, realizing you can't recreate what they're living in naturally.
For sure.
That's
why I don't have leopard
manner.
lizards. Leopard lizards are one of my favorite species of lizard, and I was so happy to have them. And after about 4 or 5 months, I wound up giving them away because I couldn't keep them the way that they needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Same environment as those collards, man. Crazy.
Yeah, and it was mostly like the temperatures, that level of heat in a small confined area, I don't think is safe and something you can pull off without heating up an entire room to a ridiculous level. And then the sheer amount of UV, I don't think there's a bulb on the market that can even touch what that UV output was. I think you said it was something like 14.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Insane.
Wild. Yeah, insane. Insane in the membrane.
Yeah. So something to think about. There's some species that I firmly believe, they just weren't meant for captivity. And I don't think collared lizards fall into that category necessarily, but I think there's definitely like those species that teeter on the edge where it's like there's probably a little more needed than what has been originally thought.
Sure.
But I figured we'd kick off with the leopard gecko.
Yeah. And Anthony, man, thanks so much for the kind words, bro. We love you, bro.
So I have INAT pulled up and I have Google pulled up.
Cool. Tim Morris mud snakes. Fuck off.
So of course, when you look up leopard gecko habitat, you get a bunch of Zoomed and Exoterra.
Naturally
stuff.
Because there's coconuts that are carved in half in the desert.
That's right. You know it.
Yep.
So definitely not what you would think. So this is Pakistan. Let's see if I can.
Why don't you pull up that map? Is that map to give people a better idea? I love a good map. And for those listening on your commute, I'm sorry, this is going to be a very visual episode. We'll try and do our best to verbally recreate the images on the screen, but feel free to hop back on YouTube later on and just kind of flip through it because I'm sure we'll see some funky stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think this is all leopard geckos because obviously the Hardwicii are going to be your Indian. Yeah. Whether I don't know if standard leopards, Macularius, extend into India at all. I always thought it was just Hardwicii. And then Iran, that's that Iranian variation that Kevin Barron is always talking about, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim, I love mud snakes too, man. I actually kept a baby alive for almost a year, feeding it little guppies, and then it just stopped eating the guppies. And I was like, all right, time to let it go. Kept it in a 10-gallon tank with duckweed. Stupid cute. Wow, look at that. That is not what I would expect a leopard gecko to live in.
And I think you're going to see a lot of variation in terms of like what they're going to be found in. So you're going to see them in this type of environment, but I think you're also going to see them in sort of more of like a scrubland type.
Right. And for those
riding
listening
like
at
this.
Home, that's more. Yeah. So it's basically arid, semi-montane environment. I'm sure there is some low alpine specimens found with a lot of
It's
scrub
Tatooine
grass.
with some shrubs.
Yeah, it's Tatooine with some scrubs, but at the same time, there's areas in the foothills that have massive coniferous pines and some thicker thorny bushes and stuff. It's kind of like where the pine forest meets the desert, if you will, but very rocky, very deserty.
You know what it's very reminiscent of?
What's that?
West Texas.
It is very reminiscent of West Texas, for sure.
I was thinking about that when I first pulled these up earlier before we got started. I was like, you know what? This makes complete sense as to why Coleonyx. Oh, there's some androgynous action for you there.
Nice. Look at that.
Well, look at that. Ready to go. Coleonyx. That habitat is from pictures almost identical to what we would find those in Big Bend and stuff.
Sure. Dude, geckos with eyelids, man. Geckos with eyelids.
I still would eventually like to keep some Coleonyx. I still have my little short list of geckos that I'd like to have eventually. It's definitely not something that is happening anytime soon. But
dude, look at that. A wild leopard gecko, man. Awesome. That cream belly, it still has the blue eyeshadow on it. It's great.
What's interesting too is, like, I think about the people that first sort of came across these and was like, dude, let's totally ship some of these overseas and see how they do.
Yeah.
Like, let's take some back with us.
Absolutely.
And then to think that if they got in a time machine and saw where they're at now, they probably wouldn't even know it was the same animal.
And to think that there's some little old lady sweeping them out of her doorway of her house with a broom,
in Pakistan, yeah.
In Pakistan, yeah. Some little old lady with a thatched broom just sweeping the gecko out the front door.
See, this says the figure 13 is the range. So that range map we had says Macularius in Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan, and India. So maybe they do dip down into
northwestern India, maybe.
I don't know. It had it going down like the entire west coast.
Yeah. And Tyson, you're not seeing the whole group chat because most of the people that are commenting are on either YouTube or Facebook. So if people are on Facebook, they probably won't see the YouTube chat.
Yeah, Tim's on Facebook. That's probably why he's not seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see it goes all the way.
Yeah, but that's got to be the Hardwick guy.
I would think so. I mean, we did that article on him in the magazine a while
back.
But
like there's no leopard geckos in
for some reason.
Delhi.
I was thinking Hardwicki were also up north or more. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. So go away, ad. You are not what I wanted. Share this tab instead. So there's a lot of Pictus, which is a different species.
It's almost fat tail gecko in appearance.
Yeah, almost like a Hardwicki light
with a it's a Hardwicki with African fat tail coloration.
Yeah, see, this is Eastern Indian leopard gecko, so maybe the range on Hardwicki is the other side.
Yeah.
Let's zoom out here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Opposite side. I'm trying to find. Here we go. And even if you can't see the full habitat on INAT with most species, you can still at least get kind of an idea of what they're being found in,
Yeah, like I mean, we put the fake prickly pear cactus in our terrarium with our leopard gecko, but clearly, look, this is like lush green grass. That's not a desert grass. That's a deciduous or stepland grass.
Where? Here we go.
Yeah, look at all the grass, man. That's not what I would expect at all.
Centipede grass, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Crabgrass, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, see, here's... This is like north central India, it looks like.
Yeah, but a picture like that's tough because you don't know if someone stuck that gecko on that rock, you know?
Well, not even necessarily that, but I mean, a lot of the, from what I've seen personally, a lot of the Eublepharis as hatchlings look very, very similar.
Yeah.
So this could not be a Mac for all we know.
Yeah, and if
very well could be too. I'm not sure.
If you told me that was a Pakistani, captive bred U.S. line gecko, I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Stupid cute. I love the little brown blotches on the thighs. It's very interesting.
Oh, look, they were bagging this one up to go to Petco.
Oh, wow. Look how purple that one is. Dude, that's super purple, man. Wow. Very, very banded with bands of purple and bright yellow. And then in the bright yellow are black dots. Very cool.
That band behind the head right there. Too,
oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, that like nuchal band right there.
Phil busting out the big words. Here's a half of one.
And Patrick, if you're asking about Miami gecko guys, it's Kevin Barron. It's our good buddy Kev. He's got some crazy leopard gecko stuff. That's Mutant Geckos on Instagram, and I think Mutant Serpents on Instagram as well for the snakes. Oh, look at that regen tail, man. That's actually the first one we've seen with a regen tail.
It's interesting that it's so fat and the rest of the body's kind of...
Yeah. Or is that...
consider that average, like standard, I guess, for the wild. It's not malnourished and it's not overweight.
Do you think that that's its spine, or do you think that's like a vertebral stripe?
I think it's a vertebral stripe, just considering how far up it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
If it were the spine, it would start about here between the shoulders and kind of work its way down
and like the hips don't look emaciated.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Natural, dude. Banding with a stripe, like, dude, super cool.
I had some as a kid, man, and like the purples. I don't think they were any particular line or anything like that, but like the purples and yellows on those things, man, it was.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff Frederick in the house. Oh, look at that tail. Now that's a regen.
Oh, that's more than regen, dude. That thing's just messed up. That thing's like half missing. I think that's dead.
You think that's dead? Yeah,
that's a dead gecko.
Yeah, I think it's dead gecko. It's a healthy looking gecko, but that's definitely a dead gecko. Damn. Still, gorgeous specimen. Well, what's next up at that?
Here's one that was found in Austin, Texas.
You're kidding.
The natural habitat. Which,
oh my!
Ironically, if you saw this picture next to all the other pictures of the wild ones, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's
dude." If you told me that was in southeastern Pakistan, I would believe you.
That's the healthiest looking one of them all.
The legit. It's got some carrots in there,
funny thing is this is the same one that was in that bag in that other photo.
Is it really?
It escaped when it got shipped over from Pakistan, It got out of that bag
Oh, you're messing with me.
and has made its way to Austin in like a Finding Nemo kind of scenario.
Wow, what is that?
It says it's a leopard.
Wow, that's like
That's in
almost
North
on the
India.
yeah, that's like the Nepalese border, man. Wow, that thing's awesome looking.
Also, it's like a vertical stripe.
Yeah. Dude, that's a really cool looking gecko, man. Dude, freaking India having all the cool shit.
No one pays it any mind, man. Kills me.
I know.
You know what's interesting too, looking at just the INAT observations, is the overall thickness and condition of a lot of these.
Yeah,
Like, we got some fat leopard geckos in the hobby, man.
for sure.
Like,
And that's the thing too. Like all these specimens, none of them are really emaciated or skinny. These are healthy looking geckos. They're just not the chunkamunks that we see in the pet trade.
what I would consider what they're probably supposed to look like.
Yeah, for sure. And Valentine says that there was a dead one found on iNaturalist. It was found in Tempe, Arizona, by Arizona State University on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Someone posted a blue-tongued skink in their yard in the South Carolina identification group yesterday.
Really? Well, there's also I don't know if it still is. There was a gaboon viper in downtown Fort Lauderdale, and it was clearly in someone's collection that I guess somebody decided to post on iNat. So
Nice.
like it's in a terrarium, so it's not like loose or anything, but still.
See, like that to me, this right here is like the picture of perfect body condition.
Yes, agreed.
Like if I saw that at a show, I'd be like, that gecko is in perfect condition. That's the shape it should be. That's the size it should be. Like that's the weight it should be.
Yep.
You know, plenty of tail looks good. Tone's good.
For sure.
So, what was next? Let me look.
Was it Beardy? I mean, I was just spitballing pet lizards, you know. I figured we talk about corn snakes a lot, and it's very East Coast US, and I'm sure most people have an idea, but corn snake is so variable. I think the only snake that I had on the list was cow king, right?
You had hognose on there too.
Oh, that's right, hognose. I forgot hognose. What's up next, Beardy? And no, Tyson, I don't think either one of us are going to Kluberfest. There's just not enough time.
Jake and I haven't fully discussed it yet. Like we've talked about it.
Okay. Sorry to speak for you. I hope you guys go.
It'd be nice to.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of funds and time off, you know?
Yeah. Between that and like Carpet Fest and Daytona, and it's a lot, man.
Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Let's see.
Valentine puts Honduran milk snakes in the running. I think that'd be a great one.
That would be a cool one.
Yeah, let's do that too. Especially talking about Honduran milk snakes and all the coffee plantations and everything, and cold-blooded caffeine, rock and roll. Cresteds.
Jeez.
Not a Tupperware tub.
It's an odd one, so that I don't know
Thanks,
what you'd
Tim,
necessarily call it.
We love you,
it's
Tim.
not.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. It's tropical, but it's temperate at the same time. I don't know what you'd necessarily call that. I don't know that subtropical is necessarily the word.
I think it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Is it temperate rainforest? Is that the right term?
Maybe.
I feel like it's similar to the Pacific Northwest, right? Like the pine tree forests of the Pacific Northwest are still rainforests. They still receive X amount of precipitation and humidity a year. They're just not jungle as we think rainforests, you know? Crested giant gecko. Interesting name. I don't think I've ever heard it referred to as a crested giant gecko.
So this is one of the islands, like off the. Which one is that?
It's so hard to use that map.
Does the island not have a name? Look at all these. Are those all observations?
I think so. I think they're
It
all like
is.
tiny little
Wow.
islands. That's wild.
interesting.
Yeah. It's a lot of islands, man. Crap.
I don't know where the crested is in this picture. It's like, where's Waldo of the best kind?
Yeah, dude. Where's the gecko? Yeah, I'm assuming it's in focus because there's so much not in focus.
Oh, there it is. Found him. Beep beep. Right in the center.
Oh
of
my
the screen.
gosh. Can you zoom in on that?
No.
Dude, that is, I would have
As
never
far
seen
as
that.
Zooms.
Man.
I don't understand. I don't know if they did the same lizard as different observations or what.
Or is that just how they're always in trees? That high up.
That one's sitting right there.
Yeah, you can see that.
Coloration and patterns make sense with this this bark they're hanging out on.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
reminiscent of Europlatus.
very Europlatus. It's very reminiscent of a ficus or even some like low fig trees. The leaves are kind of figgish. That looks a little more tropical in my opinion. Oh, that one's fired up. Look at that guy. Almost cat gecko in coloration.
Mm-hmm. Not blending in as well.
I'm sure the flash helps a lot, like picking them out of the bush.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So in its natural glory,
That's a
behold,
great looking animal.
a brown crested gecko.
I mean, dude, it's a great looking specimen. It's not just brown.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It'd be cool as hell to see those in the wild.
Yeah.
They're
And
fun
like for
geckos.
those-
I enjoyed breeding them when I had them.
Yeah. For those listening on the commute, it's a dark khaki color on the head and dorsal with almost a washed out olive on the sides with some rusty red colored eyes
And eyelashes.
and eyelashes.
It's nice structure on that one.
Yeah.
Looks like a female.
It's a shame that most of the ones we're seeing on a naturalist, the hindquarters kind of taper down. You can't see if it has a tail or not. I'd really be interested.
That one
to see
definitely
how
does.
many- That one definitely does. Okay.
No, that one doesn't have a tail.
It does not. Okay. I would very much like to know what percentage of adults in the wild retain that tail.
That first one didn't have a tail either.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have a tail.
Yep. That one doesn't have one either. Interesting.
Look at that. It's a Dalmatian.
Yeah. Right.
That one's also a female. Unless
Dude,
it's a small one. That looks
Yeah.
like
I bet you that's where Dalmatians started.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that surprised that they'd all be missing tails because after keeping them for, the handful of years and stuff, sometimes you just dropping something on the floor and it being loud enough would cause some of mine to just drop them.
Right.
and freak out. So they're they're very willing to abandon it when they have to.
Yeah.
Even when they don't necessarily have to, they'll do it.
It's their one get out of jail free card.
Yeah. I do find it odd that they don't grow back when you have, I think Chihuahuas and Gargs, theirs do grow back, but on Chihuahuas, I think it's also incredibly rare that they drop their tail at all. So,
okay,
it's odd that they grow back, but
yeah, it also makes you wonder too if the ones that we're seeing in this habitat have lost their tails because of humans catching them. I mean, obviously there's no fresh wounds that we're seeing, but I don't know. I'm just thinking of like tors and stuff,
this is one of those species, man, that it blows my mind that from where here's one with a tail.
Oh, there's a little baby guy.
Almost being extinct and thought to be extinct to then being, one of the most popular lizards of all time.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's sort of the most extreme version of the conservation by captive propagation thing.
Oh, for sure.
Sort of, and it's not at the same time. Like, yes, they're not doing it for research purposes, but to have a species enter into the private sector and get into the hands of so many and it just absolutely explode,
yeah,
I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a great story, man.
There's another species too where I just imagine being the first guy to come across one of these things and being like, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, man, with the eyelashes and the frog butt. Oh, super
but also
cool,
another female.
Yeah.
They really were fun lizards. Sometimes I miss them.
Very cool.
Sometimes.
I'm going to step aside and reload my thermocell. Excuse me.
Are you running out of juice?
Yes, my little white strip is my little blue strip has turned white, so it's time to reload the cartridge.
So this is like mainland. I don't know that I'd necessarily. It's not one of the smaller isles. This is like the main part of New Caledonia, and this is a super dal or ink spot, I guess is what they call them, because it's got them big dark spots and not just the tiny little freckles. That's a little guy. And that tail blends in perfectly. Very interesting. I'm not living by a thermocell. I've got a fan and I've got cigars to keep the bugs away. Let's go on to the next. Let's go ahead and hop into Honduran milk snakes. Not the hobby hondos. If I can even find. Open image in a new tab. So it's kind of interesting. You wouldn't necessarily associate habitat like that with sort of a tricolor-esque animal.
We in Central America?
We are in Central America.
Excellent. Good, good.
That's an Eastern milk. That's not a Honduran. Yeah, we might be hard pressed to find decent Honduran milk snake habitat photos, because I was also saying there's Honduran milks and then there's the hobby Honduran milks that are not the same thing.
So we're referring to Lamprepeltis triangulum hondurensis.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Good, good. Sorry for all the downtime tonight, guys. We're trying. This is the downside to doing these show and tell episodes.
You can only type so fast. See if there's even anything on iNet for them. No results found.
Is it just because it's Lamprepeltis triangulum and there's no subspecies name?
Maybe.
Because, you know, iNaturalist is such a huge pain in the ass with the subspecies and even subspecies. Like, I was just, you know, I get a hair up my ass sometimes and I start looking for obscure species. I was looking at Crotalus obscurus, and they have it as Crotalus willardi obscurus.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, which one are we going to do, kids? You know, or is it Crotalus willardi just not in the right area?
I'm filtering. Stand by.
Filtering. Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
Oh, look at that. Look at that Central American bottle right there. Oof.
Look at that anole. Jesus.
Coffee snakes.
So you just clicked Honduras?
I clicked Honduras and then I had it just show me the reptiles so that we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, you can even type in the word snakes and it'll only give you stuff in Serpentes.
Because this is what
There's a milk snake.
This came up earlier. It just has it as Lamprepeltis abnorma.
Abnorma? I can't read it. It looks like my Curus from where I'm sitting.
It's taken forever and a year to do its job.
Is that a red-headed oxybellus?
Kohler's vine snake. That's, yeah, another oxybellus species.
Wow.
Speckled racers. Dude, those Drymobius are so freaking tight.
Yeah, man. Drymobius is
on that fire. Would be a fun one to keep.
Yeah. Dude, no milk snakes, man.
It's loading. I'm okay. Just scrolling while it's thinking.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, look at that Marchi.
Nice.
Those in bicolor, man. Those do it for me, dude. Those check all the boxes.
Yes, sir.
Xenodon. I'm not familiar with that. Bothriechus.
Is that one of the new ones? One of the new eyelashes?
I think so. No, this is something else. There you go, Porthidium, Phil. Just for you.
Nice. Look at them coffees, bro.
Why won't you love them?
Because Calicelesma is better.
Why
Only
does it have
nerds
to
get
be a
that joke.
better or worse?
Only nerds understand that, bro. Is that one of those white coffees?
Forest flame snake.
Oh, Derek's in the chat. He says Porthidium greater than. I don't think so.
Damn right. How come that first one looks so cool and all the other ones are just kind of... It's neither here nor there. Let's go back.
Yeah. We're on a mission.
Sorry, we got derailed by Bothriechus and...
This is a perfect time to tell the people.
Mobius.
I'm sure I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. How I learned to remember the scientific name Lampropeltis. I was in my youth at a local pool hall bar that my friends and I used to always hang out in. We would do venomous class. I was still learning back then. And then afterward, we go to the pool hall bar and have some beers and shoot some pool and do our thing. And we were a wee bit inebriated. And my good friend Zach, who was very inebriated at the time, we were talking about scientific names. I was like, "Oh man, what's the king snake one? I can never remember it. He goes, Lampropeltis. He says, I gotta wait for you to remember, man. He's very, very inebriated. And he points at those little hanging lamps that are over the pool tables, you know. He goes, Lampro. And then he grabs the bar stool and proceeds to rip the leather off the top of the bar stool. And he's holding up the piece of leather and he goes, Peltis. And I'll never forget that scientific name for the rest of my life because of that.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so this has them all as just Lampropeltis abnorma.
Yeah, Valentine says they're listed as abnorma. So he says if you go to Honduras on the map and then type in abnorma, it'll come up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Look at that one.
It's abnormal.
Decent size. That's a big one.
Yeah. Look at that guy's boot.
That's that guy's foot. Yeah.
Yeah. Little do we know he's a size 4 shoe.
They make this really difficult to read.
Of course they do.
There's a lot going on. At what point are we getting into Nicaragua? Is Managua in Honduras?
If you type in see at the top of the search bar where it says Central American milk snake, if you type in Honduras in that location, it'll only give you that.
Well, you're making too much sense now, guy.
You have to click go. It'll actually highlight. There you go. It'll highlight only.
Okay, so
yeah, there it is.
Sorry, INAT makes this way more complicated than it needs to be. Load.
You were definitely making it think
God.
way too hard tonight.
How do you people deal with us? Yeah, see, that's more of the traditional milk.
Definitely in shed. Well, was in shed.
Yeah.
And Derek said he had milks on the brain today. Never kept them, but doing a lot of window shopping the past few weeks. I love Hondurans. They're probably one of, if not my favorite milk. I've had countless ones over the years.
Oh, wow.
And,
Here we go.
I think they make great pets.
It's another one I had as a kid, and those babies were just really, really spazzy little bastards.
Yeah, and you know what? But I felt like they chilled out. They chilled out pretty well. That's Tangerine if I've ever seen one. Damn.
Yeah, that's nice. And in terms in relation to range, we're looking at a northern population there.
Okay.
So let's explore that a little more and see if maybe that tangerine-ish phase is more of a northern type.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the pictures of death.
Yeah, such is life on a naturalist. Yeah, you know what, dude? That might be a northern thing. That is a blood red snake. So Lisa says in the group chat that Ketzel and Dave Kaufman got pictures of actual true Hog Island boas. So we definitely got to check that out.
Oh, I saw Kaufman posted something like a picture of a hog island that I guess he found. That'll be an interesting
very
interesting video
for all you constrictor kids.
So now that's interesting because now we're kind of northwest.
Are we on the opposite side of a mountain range?
Kind of.
Yeah. That one's got almost like an apricot head.
Yeah. So that's directly on sort of the left side of that crest there.
Yeah, foothills of that mountain range.
Let's see if we go slightly south of that. This one's kind of a mix.
Yeah, kind of a mix.
Sort of a cross between the typical Halloween sort of orange and the normal tricolor, where the white, instead of being white, is that tangerine.
Good looking animal.
But if we go, let's head more east.
Now, forgive me when I jumped back in the show. Did I miss the habitat shots? Or did we
no, because that one I had pulled up was kind of the only one that I could find. Everything else was sort of every other milk species ever.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that shot right there, that's a good habitat shot. I mean, leaf litter, some palm fronds, and some short tropical grasses. That is what I would imagine they live in. I'm a little disappointed that water bottle wasn't Fiji, but you know, you get what you can get when you're in Honduras.
Amateurs.
You know? I know, right? That's a great looking specimen.
Yeah, it is.
Again, tropical leaf litter.
I'd love to show you
exactly what you'd think it would look like. So I guess so far, this is the only one that is kind of, at least for me. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So far, this is the only animal we've looked at so far that really is what I imagined the habitat to look like, being correct for me, at least.
And you know, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Because we're talking about coral snake mimics, and you don't see coral snakes minus, obviously your desert species. Like a lot of those tropical coral species are living in that exact same habitat.
Yeah.
Even eastern corals, here in the south.
Wow, look how
the habitat is very reminiscent. Yeah, I'll bet you that's an older animal.
Yeah, but just look at the black and how it's like it's not really banding so much as just like blotching. It almost has a ringed python appearance in terms of the pattern. I mean, it's black and red, but it definitely has that Bismarck ringed blotching to it. Super cool. And that's a Far East animal.
So yeah, we're getting into like the northeastern quadrant.
Nice.
Using my big science words.
Yes.
Which I'm noticing a trend, like the northwestern stuff sort of had the more traditional milk snake look, but as we go more northeast is where we're getting more of the typical Honduran what we've come to know and love.
Yeah. That's a good
Phenotype.
thing.
There's a lot of observations in this particular La Ciba. Ooh, this one's a good one. Can tell from the thumbnail. It's a nice one.
Oh yeah, look at that thing. And Valentine says you can look and see what other people ID'd it as in terms of like expert grade or professional grade, whatever they call it now, research grade.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that, but for the sake of the show, I figure we'll just assume it's the Honduran. Look at that. That's a great looking animal, dude. That's a $400 Honduran in a show, bro. Look at that thing. Yeah, almost no lighter bands, just black and red.
Look at how close we are to the coast.
Yeah, it's on the coast. Clearly, it's in a water bottle, but like you're to assume that they found it relatively close to where they pinged it.
Dentillo. This one looks like it's damn near on the beach. It is on the beach.
It is on the beach. Look at that, shells and all. Well, hopefully Mike Kosicki listens to this. Now he definitely has to put seashells with his Hondurans.
That's right. Make sure the air salinity is high.
Hey, look at the size of that head in relation to the person's finger. That's a good size Honduran, man.
Yeah. I love the black tipping.
Oh, yeah, dude. The black tipping makes the snake. That black mask across the eyes.
There's a handful of other observations in the same area. I don't know what's going on in this one. Is it eating a jellyfish? Oh, no. It's got wrapped around someone's hand.
Milk snakes being milk snakes. Mike is listening. He LOL'd us. Dude, that one's cool too. Yeah, look how red. And dude, as much as I love banded stuff, like banded is my thing, I'm really digging these not complete band, kind of like wobbly bands, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. That is plucked straight out of a TFH book. Oh, wow. You can see the pupil. Look at that. Mm-hmm. That's cool. And it's got good tipping, too.
See, and that makes me wonder. I don't know. Like the fact that you can see the pupil on that, does that mean that that's just like a younger animal and eventually that goes away with time? Or is that just... possibly that they're it's an intergrade with like a another population that has that. Or
I also feel like there are many times in herp photography, field herping photography, where you will get the first shot you take of the snake at night with that first initial flash, the pupil doesn't have enough time to dilate correctly. And you get some really interesting, like almost like every time you see a Tremercerus in the wild, an Southeast Asian green pit viper, arboreal pit viper, you always see their pupils as a slit. But there are very few photos. Macrops are usually the easiest to tell because they have such big bulbous eyes. Yeah. Where you can see like this photo was the first photo that the photographer took because the flash went off just right to be the pupil just almost filling the whole eye, which I think is gorgeous.
Mhm.
You could see some red in that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is like a pretty populated area. It looks like there's actual blocks and stuff.
Still forest floor, man. Through and through.
Mm-hmm. With your little Cracker Jack box prize there on the ground. For,
Yeah.
For effect.
Yes. Yes. Man, this is a good recommendation, Valentine, man. I'm glad you chose it. It's good.
The
Dude,
black on that one's really interesting because the bands are so much thinner.
Yeah, very. I was just about to say very. If you look at it in the negative, the black bands being thin, your red bands are just that much wider.
Mm-hmm.
Did you imagine fighting that like outside underneath your car tire before work?
Right.
Dude, I would shit a kitten. It's awesome.
So let's go the other way. There's a handful of observations.
Is there anything on the Pacific side?
This is sort of working its way that way. Very interesting. This is more of a tricolor.
Come on, Inat. You got this. Yeah, that is very tricolor. And dude, look at the grasses. Like, okay. Leaf litter with thick, overgrown vinage. Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. Very thick. And tropical.
You're saying on the Pacific side, you're talking like
that, like
not El Salvador necessarily, but
right. More I guess southwestern you'd call it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's also interesting to see less fully exposed specimens. The last like 3 or 4 photos you've shown, it's always been in thicket of some kind.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it definitely seems like there's a trend that those, what we know as Hondurans are definitely a northeastern kind of thing. Or maybe that particular sort of valley between ranges and stuff there.
Yeah. That one's hard to tell because it's so jerky.
That one was definitely orange and red and
yeah, I could see it now.
This San Cristobal is pretty okay. Cigar update.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
It's not great.
Yeah, that's not great.
It might have been Gravid. Is this one Gravid?
Yeah, it could be Gravid. Could have had some good meals in it.
Seems like it starts about here.
Definitely in shed. Or it could just be dusty from that soil.
Yeah.
That sandy, dusty soil. I'd love to know the elevations of these too, because Honduras is so mountainous.
I just wish they'd put the like the lines between countries, so it's easier to tell when you're
zoomed in.
out of Honduras and into wherever. Not that the
Well,
snakes
if
know.
you use the that location feature like we did, where it put the orange border around the country, it should only show you the dots, the specimen findings, the observations in that country.
See, that's another one that's going east. That's East Range.
Totally tricolor, bright yellow.
Yeah, northeast. So it seems like, let's go back to the map. Am I past that? I think so. See, does it give elevation?
No, because I think you'd have to put that in, wouldn't you?
No, right here. No, that's
there you go.
Latin launch.
Well, I bet you if you had the Latin launch, you could use a app like Gaia, and it would tell you the elevation. I think you have to pay for Gaia. I think I pay like $30 a year for it, but I'm sure there's some kind of free topo program to give you a ballpark idea of the elevation.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything from Google.
Okay. Now, I know we're enjoying this right now in Honduras, but there is one common reptile that is in every pet shop from Miami to Kathmandu. And I have never thought to look into its natural history because I never kept them myself, but you see them everywhere. And that is firebelly toads. I feel like everyone who keeps reptiles or has visited a pet shop in the United States has seen firebelly toads, which I'm pretty sure are a frog because they're always in water. Yeah. But they call them firebelly toads. Oh, so it's Europe. Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. Now, I wonder if because I'm seeing there's also some, is it Korea, and is that Korea?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're from Korea
so
or
there's
from Europe.
There's fire-bellied toads
that are actual toads.
And it says European fire-bellied toads.
So which one is the one that we have in the pet shops?
Well, there's the Oriental fire-bellied toad.
Okay. Thanks, Patrick. Have a good night, bud.
I thought that's, yeah. So this is China. No, that's North Korea.
North Korea. They have naturalists in North Korea?
Someone does. There's a couple, not many, but a couple observations, it looks like.
Interesting. I was not expecting that at all. All right, so the one that we have in the pet shops, the ones that are in the fish tanks at Petco, those are Asian or they're European?
I always thought they were the Orientals because that's the one that sounds most familiar to me, but
that is not.
No.
Is that? No, look how dark it is.
Well, I think that one's just, I don't know.
I mean, it has a similar head structure and the arms are similar.
Where's Google?
Yeah, let's Google this. And I want to personally thank all of the viewers who are live with us right now who have stuck through our delays, our dead air, our technical difficulties so that you can see where firebelly toads hail from. Thank you so much.
Firebelly toads are a group of 6 species of small frogs belonging to the genus Bombina. The name firebellied is derived from the brightly colored or yellow and black patterns in the toad's ventral regions, which act as episomatic coloration So Bombina is not only the European but also the Asian. That's weird. That's weird that they're so. This is what's strange. Okay, so we zoom out on the map here.
Well, is this like Elafe and Pantherophis? They just
maybe
like it used to all be Elafe.
See, this is just showing the Orientals, but like when we first pulled up firebelly toads, like Europe was on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well. Hit the back button and yeah, Oriental firebelly, dude. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the one.
There's 10,000 observations.
Jesus.
Unless the ones in Europe are just ones that somehow got released and established.
I don't know. All right, so now zoom in on Europe, and let's see if that's at least the phenotype. It's because they're different species.
I don't know because this says Bombina bombina. Bombina orientalis. So no, they are two different species.
So let's see
genus.
Bombina bombina. That's a fun name to say. Bombina bombina bombina.
Let's see. Let's go here.
All right. Looking a little more. And where exactly is that? Is it Montenegro?
Looks like Russia-ish. Like Soviet something. The language looks. I swear the Oriental. Yeah, dude.
That's a big frog.
Orientalis, I think, is what we see in the stores. Because that is a big frog, and I've never seen.
But look at the belly. Unless we always just see.
Yeah, they both have fire belly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All of our friends that are frog people are screaming at the computer right now.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh God! I just realized
Lithuania. Let's.
Nipper's going to listen to this, and he is going to give us such shit for this one.
He's going to have a stroke.
He's going to have a stroke. He is. Oh, that's just the call.
Boo.
Yeah, that's not it. It's got to be the Oriental, bro.
Let's see. Here's one in Belarus. Or is that just a call too?
That's just a call. Yeah.
Calls. Damn it.
Well, you were on the right track.
Yeah, that ain't the same, dude. It's got to be the Orientalis because look at that.
Yeah, the Oriental's so much more green. Oh yeah, totally different. All right, so now this is Eastern Europe. You're Belarus, right?
This is just in general.
Oh, okay. Well, see if there's something in, I don't know, Germany or France, something more Western.
Those are way lamer than the Orientalis.
Way lamer. So much more lame.
If someone said, I've got a European version of a cool Asiatic amphibian, and they looked similar but not quite, and they said, here's the European version, I'd be like, yeah, they would ruin a good thing.
Dude, the Asian is so much prettier. Oh man,
it's as bland as their food.
Oh God, Nipper. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone.
This is like a mouthful of saltines.
All right, just go back to the Oriental one.
Sorry, guys.
All right, find me some neon green guys.
Let's spare ourselves the
Yeah, Jeff Frederick just
trouble of the
confirmed
map.
it is the Oriental. Oh yeah, look at that green guy right there. That's the one.
I'm glad we just spent 15 minutes trying to figure that out.
No, but hey, man, it's learning. You know, that's half the fun is the journey, right? We did lose 2 viewers though.
Open.
Yeah, dude, that is textbook Petco Firebelly toad.
Oh, look at the little fingertips are even
Oh yeah, I never noticed that before.
Are red. Let's see, where's this one?
South Korea?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Thanks, convicts. Oh yeah, dude. Look at that.
Here's some getting it on.
Very cool. Look, I wonder if they really are sexually dimorphic. Look at the variation. They both have the red, nail polish, which is cool.
Mhm.
The female, I love the khaki with the black markings on the face.
The earth tones.
Earth tones. I'm all about the earth tones, man. Brown snakes, brown frogs. I'm in.
Are they a toad though, or are they a frog?
Well, I mean, if iNaturalist calls it a toad, I'm rolling with toad. And they are fairly warty, despite how aquatic they are. Yeah, dude, that is very much a toad. Look at those legs. Look at the banding on the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they're super pretty, man. This is also South Korea?
Probably because there's a
Yeah,
lot, a lot of sightings. But let's see what's this over here. Let's hop on over.
Mainland China, baby. Oh, we broke iNaturalist.
Womp womp womp.
Meh, meh, meh. Valentine says Kenyan Sambos would be cool as well.
Or Russian sand boas.
Yeah. Well, I think we may have be done with the firebellies. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's cool.
This has kind of a two-tone. Yeah. And maybe that's an aging thing.
Could be.
Like a younger animal, a younger female or something.
Yeah.
Like they all, maybe they all turn green and they brown out as they get older as the females. I don't know.
Yeah, because I've only ever seen them, the size of a silver dollar in the pet store, and they're always neon green on top, black bottom with the blood red fire belly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the more I look at them, the more toadish.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they are.
For sure, more toadish. I wonder if that's a winter coloration.
This is one of the melanistic ones. Yeah. Oh,
I'd be interested to see if that photo was taken in January or February.
Load demo. Yeah, that's very unassuming.
Very. Oh, tadpoles. That's cool. Dude, INAT is lagging tonight.
This says observed June 5th. Like this was literally last month.
Oh, wow.
We have a random observation out in the ocean.
Tadpoles? Oh, no, that's adult frogs.
Yeah.
Adult toads. Almost like a blue slate gray.
I think that's just the lighting and the
Okay.
angle.
And honestly, again, habitat I would expect it to look like. Very much just a normal temperate pond, temperate standing freshwater with lots of leaf litter and some rocks and some green bush foliage.
What are we doing next?
I mean, you want to go Sambo because Valentine's been on a kick?
Oh, I forgot they're East African sandbows now. They're not Kenyans.
Oh, really?
So there's in the Sandboa book, he talks about there's now Eryx and then there's Gongliophis.
Okay.
But it sounds like Gongliophis is, according to Warren Treacher, who wrote the book, that Gongliophis is kind of total crock.
Fair
and
enough.
not accepted by like anybody.
Okay.
Just eating something.
Dustin Grahn, late to the game, better late than never.
Oh,
Good to see you, bud.
Look at that. Just straight out of the dirt, eating a mouse.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Literally, just there's not even a hole or nothing. It's just out of the dirt.
Dude, just sandworms from Dune. And that's the habitat I would expect it to be.
That's a nice
and
color
that,
too.
That soil doesn't look loomy at all. It looks very compacted.
No.
It looks very dense.
I offered my Conicus chicken gizzard the other day, and I had one of the two actually ate it, and then the other one I walked in and it was eating it, and it had covered it in freaking bedding. So I went to go pull it, and it gave it right back, and then gave up and never came back to it. So
it stinks.
I didn't think they'd go for it for whatever reason. They didn't strike me as a species that would eat that, but
right,
sure enough.
Okay, that's some habitat.
I think I follow this guy on Instagram.
All right. And again, you could see how it's obviously on the surface of the soil, but I wonder if that's staged for the photo or if that soil is too compacted for it to burrow in.
Where is that? Nairobi?
It looks inland more.
I can't tell where I am. Tanzania. Okay. Yeah. So this is why they're called East Africans, is because a lot of them are split between Tanzania and like North Tanzania and then over than the border.
Okay. Red sandy soil with some brown dead grasses. I'm digging it. The orange coloration with the dark or milk chocolate brown dorsal dorsal color.
Yeah, a lot of tipping on that too.
Yeah. Orange saddling matching the orange sandy soil.
So that's Tanzania, and then we get over the border into Kenya, northwest of Mombasa, in Tsavo, or is it Tsavo West National
Savo,
Park?
yeah.
Tsavo.
Yeah, Savo.
I speak American.
That's typical looking. All right.
That Sandboa book is very good. So anyone who's interested or on the fence about getting it should definitely check it out. It's worth it.
Nice. Who's the author again?
Warren Treacher.
And it's just called Sandboas?
The Sandboa book. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had talked to him about coming on one of the shows to talk about Conicus, but he's mostly a Kenyan, East African guy. So
Well, let's get him on here, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, make it happen. He's in California, so he's on West Coast time.
All right.
Yeah, that's a nice one right there.
Oh, dude, that's a great looking animal. Dude, that's awesome looking. Now, is the head looking up at us or is it missing a head?
No, it's moving like the whole body's moving. It's like it's moving across this little path.
Oh, okay. So the head's in the grass.
No, the head's right here.
Oh, I see.
It just blends in.
Yeah. You think that's going into shed? That's why it's like that, like
No, I think it's
color?
the angle and the lighting.
Yeah. They still have that sheen to them, you know. Oh, dude, that's
a really nice one.
Yeah, dude, textbook, man.
That's like Outer Banks King type.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, that thing's killer. Absolutely killer. I love how the back third is dusty and dirty.
Yeah.
It just emerged, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. The book talked about, so there's the dodomas or dodomas that a lot of people bred into some of the stuff because the colors and the pattern were a little more intense, if I recall correctly, and I could be completely wrong on my recollection of that. And the body structure on those was the body structure on one of the two populations on one side of the board or the other was slightly different. They weren't as stout and they were longer and more lanky like this in comparison to sort of the traditional, like what we see mostly with the Kenyan Sandboas is that stouter
pet sausage.
fatter. Yeah.
And then the anery morph that we have, that's a naturally occurring morph, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That came out of 2 imported adults.
Okay. But I thought they found them in the wild too.
They may have.
Okay.
I think the initial pair back in like the 80s, I think it was.
Okay.
2 adults were imported and brought in and they bred and an anery popped out of that.
Nice.
Again, I'd have to go back and read it. Yeah, Love Eye, I think, is what the ones on the like the Kenyans, like in country Kenyans were, and then Eryx colubrinus were the everything else Tanzanian.
Cool. Very cool.
I still love those freaking Conicus though, dude.
Yeah, man, those Conicus are awesome. I'm glad you're doing well with them.
I get a little giddy when I open the tub and see them. That's east. It's an adult.
That's a thick-bodied snake, man.
Yeah. That's Kenya. Yeah, that's like northwest.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one that was eating the mouse, I think. No. A lot of dark, a lot of reduced.
Yeah. Wow, it's super reduced.
Orange on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they dug it out like that, or if it was just in that little divot on its own, ambushing. Super cool. Super cool. That's good, man. Good finds, bro.
Yeah, good job, Valentine. Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, Valentine knocking it out of the park twice.
We'll have to do it again and get a list together of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when it's off the cuff. Like you said earlier, it's fun. But when we have a little more prep, it does make it easier.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Conicus now. Oh.
Nice. Why don't you
Yeah.
share some Conicus, and then we'll wind it down.
If you're gonna make me,
we'll end it on a bang.
pull my leg.
Yeah, dude, super cool. Dude, look at the racing stripes and the nape.
I know, man. It's
Yeah.
that East Indian stuff or West Indian stuff.
Yeah, anybody who wants to
I'm convinced
see a cool sand boa, man, West Indian sand boa.
West Indian Conicus are where it's at. I think we looked at that last time, and I think it's a lot of what we have color-wise and stuff looks more eastern range type. Well, I don't know, maybe not, because that looks a lot like mine.
And that it almost has the Angolan python pattern, like we talked about before. Love that coloration, dude. Earth tones for life, man. Yeah, Jeff says it. Mini Angolan python. That's it, bro. Thing's stunning.
That one just ate something.
Oh yeah. Good and plump. How far north do they go? Does it go up into Nepal or like, Himalayan foothills?
I think there was a couple observations in Pakistan last time, if I recall.
Okay.
Maybe not Pakistan, whatever that country is directly north. Because they are prevalent little bastards. Yeah, Pakistan. So I think this was the most northernly observation, and it's up there. It's in Pakistan, but we're almost into, I think, Afghanistan or Turkmenistan, one of the two.
Yeah, so that's northeast of Kashmir. That's really north.
Yeah, I bet you that thing's listening to Led Zeppelin as it's crawling under the dirt. How Montevipera does that look?
I know, right? I was literally just thinking that. And then the one before this, that was more northeastern, almost Nepalese type area. Dude, that was so Kendoya looking. Very Solomon Island boa-ish patterning.
They're supposed to have mimicry sort of reminiscent of Deboya. Which I can see it. I mean, it's definitely. I don't think it's a intentional or direct mimicry. I think it's coincidental that they happen. To look the way
It's
they do.
very, very Palestini reminiscent. Super cool, man. Super cool.
Bangladesh. Let's see. Bangladeshi Conicus.
Oh wow, that's got some great orange on it.
There's a guy on Morph Market that was selling some, I think, pet hypo.
Oh wow.
Let me see. I bet you they're still there because that section of Morph Market and Sandboas doesn't seem to get a whole lot of attention. So, because I was eyeballing them hard. See, what makes something a pet only? Oh,
yeah, that's odd.
Dude. Oh,
wow, dude. Wow. When they say high contrast, that is high contrast. That's awesome. If you're in your car and you're driving and like I can't even describe this snake right. I mean, it's got a Palestinian viper zigzag saddles with a very low citrus blushing to it with a rich burgundy saddle color. Just an awesome specimen.
Caramel hypo cross. This is what it was.
And see, dude, that's not as impressive to me as that other high contrast animal. I mean, it's good looking. Almost has like a ground boa head to it on that one.
But I don't see they have it set as hypo, but it should be het hypo because caramel hypo and a normal. I don't know.
Maybe it's not a possibility in the drop down when they listed it. Who knows?
Probably actually with those, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
because there's really no morphs.
Yeah,
like they don't get posted enough to where I'm sure they're not going to take the time to add that.
I won't lie, man. I'm surprised there's this many on Morph Market right now.
A lot of these have been on here for months.
Okay,
these are the same ones. But I am curious because this pet only one is really nice. Really
I wonder
pretty.
why. Yeah, I wonder why pet only.
Reproductive tract appears to be malformed or fused. The results are inconclusive. She is unable to carry litters to term. Every year, she slugs out somewhere, and around 3/4 of the way through being gravid, she is handleable and eats great from every time she's offered. Okay.
Hey, at least they're honest, man.
No, I mean that's a freaking gorgeous rough
Yeah.
scale, dude. Like, I love that. That's such a cool species, dude. I can't wait to breed mine and see. Like, I've never done a live bearing species before, so it'll be awesome to see that.
Yeah, hell yeah, Dirt Snake Mafia.
And shout out to I think it's Stygian Exotics. They have some really nice stuff. I follow them on Instagram too. It's
Very
a nice
cool.
female. Makes me want to go play with mine.
You should.
A lot of cool stuff out there, guys.
For sure. You said it was Stygian Exotics?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Stygian.
Got
I'm
him.
assuming that's how you pronounce it. It could be Stygian.
I'm already following.
Yeah. Got some nice stuff.
Very cool.
But if you've stuck with us this long, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
We know, I'm sure, for people listening, this is a tough one. But that's why you can go back and watch it live and see it all.
And fast forward too.
And fast forward.
Yeah, just double tap the YouTube screen to the right side and you go forward 10 or 20 seconds into the future. Crazy.
Well, as always, this episode was brought to you by blackboxcages.com. Go give them a follow on Facebook, on Instagram. Hit up the website, shop around, use the code THN at checkout, THN24 at checkout. Get 10% off your order. Choose the pickup option instead of shipping. Go grab the order yourself. Save a ton. FullViewsApparel.com. Also use that THN code at checkout, and that gets you 15% off your order. That is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. I do not post that anywhere else. I know there's a good bit of people use it regularly, so I appreciate that because that means you're listening. Carnata shirt is up there now. I got a couple other designs. I kind of showed them briefly that I'm playing with and working on. That should be up there soon, probably before Daytona. And I do want to, because I've had 2 people place orders to pick up at Daytona. I want to figure out a way to get that on the website to where if people want to place an order, they can order and just do pickup at the booth or something.
Yeah, is there on your drop down for shipping, is there a way that you can make it like instead of being shipping number 1, shipping number 2, shipping number 3 is Daytona pickup?
Yeah, there's a way to add it. I just gotta go through the settings and figure it out.
Cool. Very cool.
And then so because I won't be able to bring everything art wise that I have available, Daytona weekend I'll have like free shipping. So if people are at the show, I have they have something that they want, but I don't have it. They can order it on the website and they don't have to pay for shipping like they were at the show. So
excellent.
Get that set up. And then Cold-Blooded Caffeine, best coffee around. Grab you some. Use the code SMOKE. Also get a little bit off your order. Me and Phil get a little something for it. And you're getting yourself an awesome bag of coffee. Thursday, I believe, the Gray Band episode of Kingsnake Chronicles is happening.
Excellent.
I believe I've made sure I've gotten so much shit from Chris for screwing up the first time. That I'm like, I will make sure I am available. I will sit there and babysit all of you behind the scenes while you are doing it. So
good stuff.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to listen to it. So stay tuned for that. I believe it's happening. It sounds like that's the plan right now. That may change. We'll see. So other than that, it's business as usual. Low Country Cigar Club. Also check that out. Get yourself some good smokes. We will see everybody later.
Bye.